Welcome to Bizarre Biology, the podcast that digs deep into the strange yet fascinating intersections of nature and cutting-edge research. I'm your host, Madison Klein.
And I'm Lucas Garrison, a pre-pharmacy major here at HPU and certified science nerd. Today's topic, half prehistoric, half life-changing. We're going to be talking about alligator blood, specifically how it might hold the key to fighting off antibiotic-resistant bacteria.
That's right. Now picture this. Muddy swamps, carnivorous reptiles, and bacteria absolutely everywhere. Off to the side, a 500-pound alligator teeming in open wounds from fights with other mysterious murky-water monsters. Yet, these animals thrive while rarely being infected with bacterial diseases. Why?
Turns out, the answer is in their blood, or more precisely, their antimicrobial peptides, also called AMPs. These peptides are like microscopic assassins, killing bacteria, fungi, and even viruses.
Now, why would this matter? Let's talk about it. The CDC calls antibiotic resistance one of the biggest public health challenges of our time. In their 2023 report, they estimated more than 2.8 million antibiotic-resistant infections occur in the U.S., causing over 35,000 deaths every year due to running out of effective treatments.
And this doesn't just occur in the U.S. The O'Neill Report, a major global review commissioned by the UK government in 2016, warned that if we don't act, drug-resistant infections could kill 10 million people by 2050. That's more than cancer.
So here's where the alligators come in. In 2008, Dr. Marchant and his team ran some wild experiments.
They collected serum from American alligators, essentially the part of the blood without cells, and exposed it to a bunch of infectious microbes, including 23 strands of bacteria and HIV-1.
According to their research, the alligator serum exhibited significant antibacterial activity against gram-negative and gram-positive bacteria, including multi-drug resistant strains.
Essentially, it destroyed the bacteria. MRSA, wiped out. E. coli, murdered. One quote from the study says, the serum also significantly inhibited the replication of human immunodeficiency virus, HIV type 1.
Here's the awesome part. Alligator AMPs attack pathogens directly, meaning they don't rely on a slow, indirect pathway like many human immune responses. They latch onto microbial membranes and rip them apart. Imagine they had a huge, sharp sword, and the bacterial microbes are simply water balloons.
And unlike regular antibiotics, bacteria have a harder and longer time developing resistance to these kinds of attacks. That's what makes AMPs, especially from species like gators, so interesting for drug developers. Let's move further down the timeline. In 2017, a study by Barksdale and Van Hoek zeroed in on a specific type of AMP, cathelicidins. These were isolated from your average American alligators as well.
What exactly are cathelicidins, you may be thinking? Well, they are a big deal as they're part of the innate immune system. Us humans produce them, but the gator version is next level. Basically, the super peptides were tested against multi-drug resistant Acinetobacter baumannii and Klebsiella pneumoniae, two bacteria on the WHO's priority pathogen list. And surprise, surprise, the gator peptides were super effective. The researchers reported potent activity against both bacteria strains with minimal toxicity to human blood cells. That's a major discovery.
Now here's where it gets even cooler. If we move a little more down our timeline, we land on the 2023 study led by Wang and her team of researchers. Using CRISPR to insert the cathelicidin gene into blue catfish, they were able to raise catfish that were significantly more resistant to bacterial infections.
According to their study in aquaculture, this CRISPR-assisted gene integration could be a game changer, where bacterial outbreaks cost billions every year. The genetically modified catfish showed lower mortality and faster recovery rates from bacterial infections.
That means these cathelicidins might be powerful enough to kill superbugs, while gentle enough for therapeutic use in humans if we can synthesize them correctly. We can't just inject alligator blood into someone. Our immune system would freak out.
All right, taking a short sidebar, This is your moment. We've got a pretty fun way to think like drug designers.
Here's how it works. Break into teams of 2 to 3 and draw a pathogen card. Then choose 1 to 2 AMP powers.
Then, design your own medicine based on your AMP powers and gator blood. Give it a name, explain how it works, and if you want, come up with a fun slogan. Maybe, for example,
Ampzilla!
Right. Anyways, after a few minutes, each team shares their creation. Hopefully this helps you think about how nature inspires medicine. All right, let's go back for a moment. Like Lucas said, we can't just inject people with alligator blood. Our immune systems would go haywire and descend into panic mode.
The solution? Researchers are trying to synthesize the peptides in the lab, creating modified version that would work in humans without side effects.
If they can pull it off, we would be looking at a whole new class of antibiotics, started by evolution, adapted for modern medicine.
But we can't forget, alligators aren't just medicine factories. There are ethical and environmental concerns surrounding as well.
Precisely. If demand increases, people could try to harvest alligators for these extraordinary compounds. We need to invest in synthetic biology, not animal exploitation. That means action, like funding research, not just spreading the word. So, Lucas, final thoughts? Are we looking at the next big breakthrough?
It looks promising. Nature is the ultimate chemist, and alligator blood is the perfect example of how evolution can inspire innovation. However, we need more research, more funding, and a little bit of patience.
If nothing else, it's a powerful reminder that answers to modern problems might be hiding in ancient places, including the veins of swamp-dwelling reptiles. Thank you for joining us on Bizarre Biology. I'm Madison Klein.
And I'm Lucas Garrison. Stay curious, stay weird, and never underestimate the power of a swamp monster.
See you later, alligators.